Leo, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, I love you so very much. Mwah. If you're brand new to the channel or just cross-watching for your particular sign, I'm JT. Like I say, Leo, sometimes in the day-to-day grind, these cards, they line out. Sometimes they don't, okay? Don't hate the reader. I'm just going to give you as many explanations of the cards that I possibly can. Sometimes it gets a little long-winded. Sometimes it fits. Sometimes it don't. Just use your intuition. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to give you the download. We're going to shuffle up. We're going to find out what is shaking loose this week with Leo. Leo, I wish for you peace, love, harmony, destiny. I wish for you the opportunities to come through, to make those breakthrough moments, to have those deja vu moments that just seem so real, like you've just physically noticed the stepping through of this brand new timeline. I hope this energy helps you find clarity and comfort. All right, we're going to talk about your current energy, your crossing challenge, what's in the foundation, the recent past, the possibilities, major arcana showing up, cool. The near future, the self, love it. The environment, hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the outcome and the direction. Do keep in mind, Leo, I always put your haiku poems right before your reading starts. Clear your mind, take a gander. I'll be right back with you on this reading. Okay, Leo, we start off your reading with the Three of Swords. It's not what you think. This reading is about somebody who's had their heart stretched, of course. It's got a little bit of bite, but I'm going to hold your hand because I love you. Put your hand here. I got you, baby. All right, we're going to talk about this. It ain't what you think, though. The Three of Swords is talking about, it's been stretched too thin, but it's not broken, just stretched, okay? It isn't about devastation. This is all about the moment. I think somebody here, this may be a little specific to individual here, but this is when you finally admit I deserved better than what I tolerated, okay? And like I said, take all this with a grain of glitter, all right? A grain of glitter. Someone ghosted you or breadcrumbed you. This is suddenly, they're watching you again. We're going to talk about why, but it could be like a masculine energy here who is like kind of detached, or was detached. And I feel like they are the ones that are feeling this loss way more than they expected to. Okay, so the feminine energy here is, trying to stay strong, but finally lets herself cry in the shower. It's got that kind of energy here. So like I said, I love you. I appreciate you for sticking. Stay with me. You had to delete those old screenshots, right? That you used to reread so that you could get closure in the situation. This is, I'm not checking, that last active on the Instagram. It does have third party, maybe, perhaps. Um, Maybe they intimidated you, and all that shit looks irrelevant now. Okay. This is realizing you were carrying all the emotional labor for two, right? This is that expected text that never comes, and now I think you're feeling strangely relieved about that. Okay, this is I'm sleeping better, after blocking that asshole with that particular number. Now I'm not gender specific on this, so that could be definitely talking about a feminine too here. So ladies, don't be getting all pissy. I'm just saying, maybe you catch yourself flirting with the with that new person, right? Without guilt. Okay, that's what this energy is talking about. Okay, I told you it's not dramatic. It's just one of them situations, right? But definitely a shift in your perspective that's going to change everything here. A moment of honesty. All right, we've got this challenge card, and it's the Five of Cups. Okay, little soft landing again. It's important that we go through this though. It's a habit of replaying what went wrong. You know, you're not stuck. Your mind's just trying to like scan for danger in this card. Okay, it's you know, understanding when was the turning point in your life. You know, that's comparing yourself to the person maybe that they chose or entertained, right? And so it does have a little bit of I don't know, feeling guilty for wanting to move on here, but I know that you ain't touching the dating apps anymore, right? You ain't about disappointment. This is questioning whether you've maybe whether you read the chemistry wrong. Okay, it's those types of questions, and there's hey, am I too much? Am I not enough? That bullshit. Yeah, nope. I'm giving you the I'm giving you the virtual hug right now. Hell no. That last argument, the one in your head. Anyway, you might have that urge to want to reach out and text again, but that's a normal situation here. Okay, it's I wonder if closure is ever going to really come. And yes, it will. And the reason I'm saying that is because you're about to start seeing blue jays. Some of you could resonate with blue jays, by the way. The spirit animal blue jay, that's about speaking your truth, without apologizing here. Okay. We're going to talk about the foundation now. Here's where everything starts to shift for Leo. The Page of Wands. This is fire energy. Some of you could be dealing with an Aries, a Leo, or Sagittarius, right? But this is you in the card, right? The Leo. It's your spark returning. There's curiosity in this card. Okay. I think you're catching up with your flirtiness again, your willingness. I want to try this again. It could be like a brand new crush or somebody going to give you that playful emoji, that smiley emoji, some shit like that. I don't know, complimenting your hair, your voice. For some of you, this could be talking about you're about to plan a trip or something like that. But this is at I don't know, maybe you posted a photo from from a little bit back, right? A little bit of throwback photo, and it gets attention or something, and you're like, what the hell? Where'd that come from, right? But anyway, it's I'm feeling physically attractive again, right? Which you never should have stopped. But I'm just saying it's I don't know. This is I'm inspired to maybe change my wardrobe. It's time for some spring cleaning of the soul. That's what this is about. Start saying yes to invitations. Anyway, for some of you, it's that sign of stepping into your brand new identity. Okay, we're going to talk about the recent past. In the recent past, we have the moon. For some of you, you could be dealing with a Pisces energy here. The moon represents Pisces for the major arcana, but it doesn't have to be the case. This was dealing with all that confusion, the mixed signals, the emotional fog. Someone wasn't honest. Not necessarily malicious, I don't think, but that scared. So for some of you, it could be that person from the past that's coming back towards you. You just have to kind of put in there what fits. But this is sensing someone's lie before maybe you had a little proof here, right? It also does talk about dreams. You could have felt somebody's energy, right, and began to dream about them again, or a dream that just felt way too real. Have to get up and take a cold shower. I don't know. Come on, I'm just saying. This is, I don't know. It could be the anxiousness after seeing something on, some kind of social media site, somebody's site. I don't know, right? It's like maybe you sense someone's jealousy. You know, maybe when they were acting a little indifferent or something. I don't know. It's maybe you feel spiritually tied to someone here, and they weren't really showing up. It's in the recent past. The reason it's important is because it's talking about something that's hidden coming to light, right? So the moon is the moon is the presence of the nighttime, of the shadow work, things like that. So something's definitely coming to light here, all right, from the recent past. We're going to talk about the possibilities, and again, another major arcana, the Star. This is hope returning. This is not because someone's coming back, but it's because of you. The coming back to yourself. This is getting grounded again. One foot in the spiritual waters, one foot on the ground. Okay, so it's that balance in between, and that's a beautiful thing. And what happens when the inside does the work, the outside does the work, right? So, baby girl, your skin, your hair, your body, You're glowing again, and everybody's noticing it, especially the one maybe that the one that went stinking hell. I let you get away. That one. We could be talking about soulmate energy here entering into your life. You know, this is I'm getting a lot more followers on my social media. For some of you, you could be having a YouTube channel or something like that as well, or side hustles, things like that that's going on, or you're just your business. You know, this is the raise, this is that promotion, you know, the money, the refund, stuff like that. But there is definitely a spiritual protectiveness here about this energy now. Okay, this is I'm believing in love again. I believe it's real. I believe it can happen again. So it's all about new opportunities that are entering into your life here. I like it. I like it a lot. We're going to talk about this near future. The Six of Swords. I'm going to get my hand right, JT. You can do this. Check it out. This is all about this again. Take it with a grain of glitter, right? I'm going to unpack this. Don't panic. I'm just saying you're moving on mentally, spiritually. You know, you're not running away. This is moving from the choppy waters into the calm waters. That's the generic term of this card. But you ain't checking your page. You know, you're not following the drama. I'm physically moving my body, rearranging my space, right? Old photos deleted, gone. You know, I'm not going to react to the passive aggressive bullshit no more. This is silence over proving your point. You ain't got to do this no more. You know, it's healing. I feel lighter too. That's that energy. You know, I don't know. Just maybe kind of some of you are just coming into realization that I just don't get triggered like that anymore. You know, so some of you, this is that bouncing around of the old '90s R&B tunes. You know what I mean? I don't know. Here's an example of some of them tunes I'm talking about. Check it out, Leo. Yep, yep. I'm at the traffic light. I'm jamming that shit so loud that everybody's staring, and I don't give a shit. That is what I'm talking about. It's got that in it. It's moving on, focused on something else entirely, and that energy takes place. All right. We're going to talk about the self, and this is why it's glow up, blow up, nurturing, beautiful. For some of you, there could be an unexpected positive bar on that pregnancy test. I'm just saying this is also about creativity skyrocketing. Excuse me. We're talking about the most magnetic, abundant, irresistible energy. Good Lord, she looks good. I say gender specific. Doesn't have to be gender there. I just did that because, you know, my masculine lower chakra just screamed out. That's all I'm saying. This is, I feel way more sensual and confident. Perhaps I'm in my Empress energy. I can be. All right. Finances are stabilizing. This is also boundaries with grace. You know, you're glowing up in them photos. I told you earlier, you look good. You know, this is my obsession with your energy. You know, it's beautiful. It's radiant. You know, someone with, I don't know, somebody with matching initials here, synchronicities wise, you could be seeing that deja vu at this time. I feel like there's something around maybe a holiday or some kind of a family gathering here, maybe some kind of outdoor event about to take place. For some of you, this is, you know, taking a walk in that park, just chilling, or a walk down the block. I don't know, wherever this is for you. And this is reminiscent. You know, you're reminiscing of some times in the past. You know, that where you really felt the best in your life. You know, you're exercising or jogging or whatever it is, but you're having that glow up, blow up moment. You know what I mean? That one that just makes you feel really good here. We're going to talk about your environment now. We got a Knight of Pentacles. This is someone reliable that's entering back in your life or returning, you know, or the more consistent in your life. Not chaos here. This is all about, you know, a masculine energy. They're going to send you that text with intention. Okay, this is the person proving themselves through their actions now. You know, not just word salad. You know, some of you it could be like a coworker or some kind of a. Like I said, some of you may have the you know, the side hustle or something like that. Maybe you're partners with somebody and becoming. I don't know. There's a little more consistency in your relationship. Something starts to form here. But this could talk about, like I said, that client or somebody like that you're working with becomes pretty important or steady in your business. But this is, I want to build something long term here. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles is that energy. You know, when they make a plan, they stick to it. So this is a commitment here. Person who maybe once hesitated, that's that commitment right there. It also represents like a shift in the communication, or at least, I don't know, perhaps your own perspective on a situation. Okay. That's your environment. So take a look at that. It could be synchronicities around this, like glitching screens. I've been saying this a lot lately. It's like, and I've had it happen to me where you think about that person in your phone just does something weird. That tablet locks up on the screen, and you got to completely reset shit. You're on the computer, something like that. Or you're at the traffic light and your dashboard does a little flash. This is the deja vu, the synchronicities in this. Okay, it's coming. Definitely a shift in the perspective and communications coming. Hopes, fears, wishes, or worries. Look, I'm going to cushion this one for you. This is judgment. All right. This is maybe you're fearing repeating those old patterns, right? But I think you want a reunion, and or you're just definitely craving some kind of a closure on a situation. So it's like, I hope they apologize. I don't know. Maybe you want clarity, but dread the conversation. It's got something like, I fear being vulnerable, but you want a sign from the universe. You know what I mean? It's I'm afraid I'm going to ignore all the red flags in this Knight of Pentacles energy. I want to trust. I want to trust myself. I want to know that I'm truly taking advantage of what I've learned here. So it just got a little hint of some kind of a truth approaching here. Maybe some of you getting those goosebumps, those sudden chills, which I don't take it. I'm not getting that energy like there's any kind of a vindictive thing going on. I just feel like this is the declaration of closure that you've needed. So there's just a little bit of intimidation. So some of you could be feeling that like really heavily right now. Probably in the sacral region, right? Sacral chakra area, in the stomach area. It's like anxious, but a little bit intimidated, a little bit nervousness, right? Anyway, we're going to talk about the outcome here, and we've got the Four of Swords. No more emotional chaos. This is no more overthinking. I've taken a break from the dating scene for some of you, but most of you, I think this is just healing the nervous system. It's hey, I'm going to kick back. I'm going to meditate some more. I'm going to journal more. I'm going to go on those walks. I'm going to check out the moon, the stars. I'm going to do a little more activity outside, or even if you're inside, I'm going to do that spring cleaning. I got to get emotionally neutral. All right. And it's maybe about this situation that is about to, I think that's about to consume you here. That I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying it's solitude over drama. So, but this is recharging your energy for that. Okay. It's kind of like preparing for that brand new beginning here. So really it's just kind of a reminder to slow down and breathe. If you want to know the truth here, I just feel like, during that moment of stillness, that's when everything cuts loose. Leo, check it out. I'm serious about this. Something from your past feels your absence here. Okay. But I think the universe is aligning you with someone new. Okay. I'm just saying that, but take it how it fits. But this is not your year of chaos anymore. It's clarity. It's choosing peace. Kind of like remembering who the hell you are. That beautiful, that quiet, powerful Empress type energy. Okay. All right, Leo, I'm going to leave it with this one. That was a good reading. Anyway, hey, get some love to the reader, right? Show a thumbs up. I'm going to leave last week's video here if you haven't checked it out yet. Maybe those energies might intermingle. I honestly don't remember what last week's reading was, but anyway, I hope it was confirmation for some of you, clarity for others. So I love you, I respect you, and I hope to see you on the next readings. Okay. All right. Bye.